Good afternoon, class. Praised be Jesus and Mary. So, how's your day? Yes, it's very good. It's okay. So, before we proceed to our topic for today, and I want to share to you these images. But before I will present to you the images, here's the guide question. What have you observed in the image being presented? So let's proceed. Here's the figure 1, the first image. And the second one. And the third one. So, okay. What have you observed, class, about the images being presented? There's a text there, or it's called signages. So yes, the more on the text and the images we've seen is that there are grammatical errors, or grammatical, how the sentence being construct is ungrammatical, just like please ask for assistant to assist. So it is important also to have this kind of lesson that talks about ungrammatical, or the how to construct a sentence with an with grammatical, with incorrect grammatical. So just like in the images presented, there are a lot of ungrammatical error, so that it makes it confusing to read, or sometimes if you know the real the correct construction of the sentence, and you may laugh, or it's up to you and how you perceive the text. So just like our topic for today, our topic for today is all about misplaced and dangling modifiers. These are the modifiers that makes the sentence quite confusing, or just like what we've seen in the images, that they are confusing, and also we can laugh to it if we know the correct answer or the correct sentence. So let's proceed to our activity for today. Since we have discussed what a misplaced and dangling modifier, here's a quick worksheet to help you grasp the concept. Four sentences are listed below. So just label whether the sentence is misplaced modifier. Just write M, and the dangling modifier D if correct is the C. So we write the corrected sentences in the line below. So the answers are the bottom of the article. So I will present to you the answers after the activities if your answer is correct. So for the first question is that she served sandwiches to the children on the paper plates. So for you, class, what is the sentence? Is it quite confusing, or what? Is it a misplaced modifier or dangling modifier? So yeah, your answer is misplaced. So just we will check it later. So for number 2 question is, hoping to excuse my lateness. The note was written and given to my teacher. Is it a misplaced modifier or dangling modifier? So for number 3, he nearly drove the car for 6 hours a day. And for the last question is, after reading the great new book, the movie based on it's sure to be exciting. So let's check if our answers are correct. So for number 1, she served sandwiches to the children on the paper plates. Yes, it is a misplaced modifier, and your answer is correct. So To make it what makes it a misplaced modifier? It is because if we will correct the if we will put the modifier to the its place, it will become she served the children sandwiches on the paper plates, not that children is on the paper plates. So it's confusing that who is on the paper plate? Is it the sandwich or the children? So it is a misplaced modifier because it is confusing to read. So for number 2, hoping to excuse my lateness, the note was written and given to my teacher. So is it a dangling modifier? So to make it correct, so here's the question is hoping to excuse my lateness, the note was written and given to my teacher. To make it correct, we will add I or a subject to the sentence. So just like hoping to excuse my lateness, I wrote a note and gave it to my teacher. So you wrote a note and it is clear that you wrote it by yourself. So let's proceed to number 3. So he nearly drove the car for 6 hours a day. So it is a misplaced modifier because he drove the car for nearly 6 hours a day, not that he nearly drove the car for 6 hours a day. So it's confusing to read, so that to make it clear, we put the modifier to its proper place, just like he drove the car for nearly 6 hours a day. So let's proceed to the last question. So after reading the great new book, the movie based on its sure to be exciting. So is it adding dangling modifier? And you are correct. So after reading the great new book, Anna thought the movie based on it was sure to be exciting. So to make it correct, we put Anna or a subject to the sentence to make it correct, because it is a dangling modifier. So here's the correct answer. After reading the great new book, Anna thought the movie based on it was sure to be exciting. So that's all for our activity for today, and let us proceed to. So here, I have here questions for you, class. So please, who wants to volunteer to answer first? And yes, if no one will volunteer, I will be calling you. So for you, Ray, how did miscommunication affect the society in general? So yes, miscommunication will affect the society in general because communication is very important, especially when we have a meeting, or just like if your friends or loved ones is far afar, who lives in the other place, or but in general it affects the society because because of miscommunication, it affects the society in general, because we need to have a good communication in order for us to have a good relationship with each other. So let's proceed to the next question is, have you experienced failing to use the pronoun he or she in naming? So how do you deal with that kind of grammatical error? For you, Lani, what is your experience? So yes, just like me, I've experienced this kind of situation in where I forgot to use the pronoun in its usage. So just like instead of I will call my boy, my friend, my boyfriend, and my boy uh, friend. So instead of I will use the he, so I use the she, and also there's correction will happen. So just like you're if you are in the classroom setting, then your classmate will said, no, it's not he, it's no, it is not she, it is he, because he is a boy. So that's just that is one of the common grammatical error, or for you to have an incorrect grammar by simply using the by not using the pronoun he or she in a proper way. So let's proceed to the last question. So how will you deal with correcting other sentence error that shows kindness? For you, Ilian, how will you deal with correcting other sentence error that shows kindness? So okay, very good, Elian. So just it is being humble is one of our personalities, or one of the personality that we need to practice, because not because we know the correct answer, but we need also to give respect to the one who's answering. So just like me, I experienced this kind of scenario in where there's someone who corrected my grammar, and they give respect to my lapses, so that for me it will encourage also me to correct it after it, and also be thankful for the judgment or that compliments, for us to have a to have a good relationship with each other. Okay, so here's the quotes and Bible verse. Matthew 7:12. So whatever you wish that others would do to you, do also to them, for this the law and the prophets. So we need to have a good relationship with each other, to have unity, peace, to have excellent, especially in the school. Okay, so here's our activity, and also our test for today. How important to identifying misplaced and dangling modifiers in a sentence? It is an AC type question, and please answer it in one four sheet of paper, and I will give you 10 to 20 minutes to answer it. Okay, so here's our assignment. In the following sentences, identify just post your answer in our Google Classroom. Okay, so I guess that's all for today, and I hope you learn something from our lesson, and always remember that you are blessed, and thank you, and God bless everyone. You may leave the meeting right now.